Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to the channel. My name is Andrew Azara, and what you're going to see in this video is me breaking down my latest remix which came out on Lazik Records. So if you want to know how to make a remix for house music, then this video is perfect for you. Let's dive right in. Alright guys, so as I said in the title, this is a track breakdown of a remix I did for Florentia, a girl from London, and the label is Lazik Records from Christina Lazik. Really like how this turned out. It actually got some great support over the past few days from Danny Howard on Radio 1 and lots of big DJ plays, and it only just came out. So if you're watching this video now, this is November, start November, so let's see how the next few weeks go with this support. So basically I want to do another kind of track breakdown, but the kind of focus on this track breakdown is less just walking you through the channels, but more giving you some tools, techniques and knowledge on how to approach a remix, because I feel like, you know, if you have done one before or haven't, maybe you're familiar with the space, but it's an interesting kind of job to do because you're tasked with a job to kind of give it your own spin, and people might get confused that, you know, there's reworks, edits, and this is an official remix of a tune that got released. So what's my approach? What do I do? Well, if you are asked to do a remix in your career, that's amazing. And what happens is you will get sent audio stems. So a stem is simply this.
Let your river flow. I found you. True meanings. True meanings.
So it's just the stem. The stem is the part of the track, and however you use those stems is totally up to you. So you might be given a folder full of stems. There might be like a synth loop, a drum loop, a bass loop, vox, like vocal effects maybe. My take and my experience with remixes is I would always use the most flavoursome and personality driven part of the track. And in this case, it's a vocal. So if there is a vocal, I would suggest kind of going with that. And I actually heard a tip from MK, said that in a video years ago. He said when he's doing a remix, he doesn't even listen to any of the track or the stems. He just goes straight for the vocal and builds a track around the vocal. So that's kind of what I did here. So the vocal is this beautiful female voice. I think it could be her. I don't actually know. And the main hook was I Found You. That was the kind of bit I wanted to center everything around. So what I did was I essentially looped that part of the vocal to begin with. So basically, I wanted to center everything around that kind of hook, I found. So everything was built around that. So let's go into, I just wanted to give that context of the remix kind of approach, because I didn't want to just dive into it. I want to give you something to kind of latch onto. If you are doing a remix or you've been asked to do a remix, then hopefully this helps, is that you want to just give it your own spin and taking a piece of the track which has integrity and keeping that in the track. In this case, it's vocal. If there is a bass loop and synth loops, yeah, I would advise maybe to put them aside, create your own brand new bass line over, say, a vocal. So let's have a look. So here's the bass, click and bass. We'll start here. So basically, I wrote this bass on the Juno plugin, and I always personally go into audio. I like to look at audio. MIDI, you can kind of flick around too much with it. Audio, you are committed to the outcome. So I just like to have it in audio. If I want to change it, I can go back to the MIDI and I can change. But here I just literally put it into audio, and I got this sort of ideas. Let's hear the vocal.
Let your river flow. Come alive.
Yeah, so actually this is where I was trying to think where I started from, because I made this around 10 months ago. So I'm just sort of figuring out here as I look. So I actually used some of the original sample. So the original is this, just so you want to have some context. Here. Here I am. So yeah, I actually just used a little piece of the original from her, and it was this. Really cool, just sort of like a filtered part, which I just really heavily EQ'd, so you can just about hear it. It's also sidechain too. So with the bass, and here, I think I started around here. Yeah. So I made this vocal from a plugin called Tal DubX. I sent the vocal through this thing. Unfortunately, I don't have the original channel, but I sent it through this and I got this kind of outcome. And I just sort of got this nice rhythm from the vocal, which I thought was really cool. And it's keeping that integrity in the vocal. So you'll always hear the vocal sprinkled around the kind of track, you know. So I'm just going through these foundational stuff first before we get into all the rest. Okay. So yeah, okay. Again, building the kind of just showing the kind of core elements here of this remix. For me, it's bass, vocal, and percussion. It's quite a, I mean, you could argue it's quite a percussive track, but there's lots of like chords and synths which come in after. But I kind of blended both vocal, chord, synths, and percussion together, and that's the kind of what you're hearing. It's kind of an interesting blend of the three kind of ideas. So here I got like this Brazilian kind of loop, which I then EQ'd a lot, I think. Yeah, it's very turned down quite a lot. So I had a kick drum in there, but I just sort of liked how it sounded. It played really well on this sort of more top end loop. Here's my core drums. That's all the drums, that's it. The core drums are, if you don't know what a core drum is just literally a hat and a clap. So open 808 hat from the 808 machine. Open hat from 909 machine. aka the VST. I use the VST, by the way. I record from the Roland Cloud VST devices. Again, just straight down the middle. Core drums. You see my videos in the past, you see how much I sort of speak about having a good core drum is like the kind of backbone of your record. Okay, so this here is interesting. So then I started to layer kind of musical elements. Let's go through these one by one. This is just a kind of a chord hit on the kick drum. I think from a sample pack, turned down and pitched maybe, or not. So yeah, it's just a chord hit, which is sort of on its own. It's just sort of whatever. Doesn't do a lot. But I really wanted to have a few chords playing off each other to really speak with each other, like, and that I'm adopting here, you'll hear now a second, good communication, okay, syncopation between the chords. So all these chords together, there's 3 chord channels, they're doing this. Now the context is there. So here's the first one. Dum, dum, dum. So here. So it kind of sounds like do, dum, dum, and then into this third one. So 1, 2, and 3. Notice how they're not playing together at the same time. I see a lot of like producers and music where what the key here is really that kind of communication between the chord elements here. I see a lot of producers and music in the past where it's just everything is playing together. We don't want that. We want things to play around each other, and that's what gives the identity and the kind of hook. So if you're again struggling on hooks and you're kind of not sure how to make a good hook, just think putting the sounds playing away from each other, not at the same time, gives that syncopation and communication, which then equals more of a stronger hook. That's my experience and take on kind of hook value. So even the syncopation and communication between the vocal "I Found You" also comes into here. So when this chord finishes, the vocal comes in and kind of back into this other chord here. See how they're not playing together? So every single kind of chord hit, vocal hit, apart from the first one, all have their own home. And you can see then when they're playing together how beautiful they come together. Let's hear the bass. Now the bass hit might hit at the same time as some, but because the bass is a lower frequency, it's not really going to clash. And there will be some layering going on here. Like some things will play together, that's fine. But generally those main hits are playing away from each other. So yeah, this vocal here is just part of the stem pack. It was beautiful. I didn't do much to it at all. It's just sort of.
Let your river flow, come alive.
I actually added an extra part, "I'm Alive," at the end.
Let your river flow.
And I kind of chopped over a piece here on the right. And I just put it on the kind of drop when it comes in. Just kind of just going like, just came in. The decision making process was probably quick. I just put it on the drop and it felt good and I left it on. So not much more parts, to be honest. Some crashes from a PIV pack, some built-in little snares, some more her samples, like a riser. Some more of my own from the modulated delay. That's my work. And I use her vocal as a pre-drop as well. So kind of a
I found you.
and an in. So kind of goes, "I found you," in, and then just let your rhythm flow, "I'm alive." That's the kind of main vocal work, and it kind of comes in like a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, here's the intro part. So it said flow or no at the start. Then so arrangement, development. Very simple kind of 5-6 minute house, tech house, the minimal, whatever genre you want to say, design here. There's a intro, there's a first drop, a first kind of drop, main drop, and then things start to come in. So basically, as the track develops, the drums and bass are actually the same from the beginning, as you can see. Even if you just eyeball this, you can see how core drums, that hat and clap, disappear here, come back, disappear. Yeah, so there's kind of like the first part of the track here builds by adding those chord elements in, kind of one by one. They're coming through. There's a little breakdown, some snares. Great stuff. There's like a little this is basically called a bridge. When you hear this in music, when things are kind of quiet, just a bridge. You're just bridging between the breakdown and this sort of main section here. So yeah. Here I really let things open, so I actually opened up the filter here the most here in this main breakdown. Just a quick one, guys. I got asked a question the other day about how I create and make my sounds. So I do a lot of sampling from VSTs and other samples. I run through effects, my own processing chains. I just sort of designed them based off my own sort of creativity. If you do want to grab some of these sounds I've made, if you hit the link in the description, you'll see a list of the packs I've been building, creating and launching over the past few weeks. And I'm aiming to launch one per month. So right now there's 3 or 4. So if you are interested in getting some of my samples directly into your DAW, hit the link in the description and you can grab your own versions there. Let's get back to the video. So here I have, again, just sort of letting things open up with filters, more intense reverb for that final drop. And the final drop is really just the same as this. I got YouTube sample here in case you're wondering. I just put in like a Brazilian whistle for no reason. Just at the end. Yeah, again, building tension here on that last drop with a string. And that better be in the final one. Very standard, straight down the middle build up there, leading back into your main drop. Alright guys, that was the video. Hope that helped. If you're finding it hard to maybe attack a remix, you've been asked to do a remix, you're not sure, hopefully there's some nuggets in this video which can help you kind of clear those doubts. Again, any questions, hit me up in the comments. Anything you want to see from me, guys, let me know. I've been doing this channel for about 2 years now, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Any criticism, what I could do better, what you'd like to see maybe, just please feel free to write to me in the comments. And in the meantime, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.